everybody. Welcome to Dubstock Live, brought to you by Fit Aid. It's going to be Warriors and Kings in the first round, the first game, starting on Saturday. The Warriors end the season 8-2 in their last 10 games. They have a 3-game win streak, and they should be feeling pretty good heading into some time off leading up to that first game on Saturday. I'm Kerith Burke here in the studio. Dalton Johnson was in Portland to see this game, so you witnessed the Warriors starting this game off very well with a 55-point first quarter. They never trailed in this game. Dalton, can you set the scene for us a little bit? What was it like witnessing a 55-point first quarter?
Well, I will say, I'm in Portland. I'm at the Moda Center, but there was some loud Warriors fans in this building every time Klay Thompson was letting it fly, every time Steph Curry, Jordan Poole. There was 4 different guys that made three-pointers. We know that Klay Thompson has had his historic three-pointer in the first quarter. But, just all the way around, from the bench, the coaching staff, the players in the court, a lot of smiles with the Warriors right now. They knew what this game meant, obviously, and they checked every box. They came out of it injury-free, a dominant win, didn't need to play their guys too much. So, again, very, very happy vibes here for the Warriors in Portland.
Yeah, the Warriors nailing down that 6th seed and that milestone you were talking about for Klay. He knew that he only needed 5 more three-pointers to reach 300 for the season. He hit 5 threes in the first 5 minutes. I think that would help quiet the Moda Center as well. Klay finishing with 301 threes in the game. Steph Curry just sat down at the podium. Let's get his take on avoiding the play-in altogether.
We've been in situations like that in the past. It's obviously you want to control your own objective, making sure we get a week off no matter who we play. But it was nice to have that in the bag and then just see how the cards fell, with those 2 games. And we're playing Sacramento. Obviously, they're a great team. They've had an amazing season. And it's going to take everything to beat them 4 times, especially start on the road. But we love the opportunity in front of us.
What did that kind of lead to just in terms of excitement?
That's more for everybody else. I think for us is understanding what it's going to take to beat them 4 times and, locking in on the task at hand. I think everything that we've been through this season, it's just nice to be, officially in the playoffs and, with a week to prepare and get our minds and bodies right for it. The narratives and the excitement and, the historical context of it all is just a part of, this time of year. And it's awesome to know that we're back in the fray and have an opportunity to go, hopefully get off to a good start.
I feel like you guys are playing, forget the record or beating or, wins and losses the last couple of weeks. Do you feel like the team is playing well enough to do well? It seems like things are coming together in the sense that Andrew's about to come back, Gary's back in the fold, you guys are healthy. Does it feel like that for you?
Yeah, we know there's another level to get to, and we're going to have to if we're going to win at the highest level. But I think these last 2 games, it's been weird because we played, teams that are out of the race, or Sacramento was resting all their guys, and Portland's out of the race. So the focus is just on how you're playing and what you do to, take care of those games. And we've, I think, locked in on, 2 things that for us are going to dictate how we go into the playoffs, and that's obviously taking care of the basketball and rebounding. I think our defense has been a lot better. Offensively, we have that high gear that we can get to. But the biggest adjustment really is just, like you said, the rotations, knowing Wiggins is hopefully coming back and he'll be ready hopefully for game 1. But we can hopefully rely on last year's success as like a template for how we need to play. It's just a matter of can we do it, and can we do it consistently, and I know we can.
Challenging is that, and to get a start back in without even one regular season. He's been gone 2 months essentially. and obviously you have some practice time here. But what's the challenge? What's the sort of unique obstacle of doing this? Because obviously unusual.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have a lot of decisions on what it looks like, but I went through it last year. I didn't miss as much time, but I missed some weeks, some change. And first game was game one. There's a lot of adrenaline of, what the playoffs atmosphere brings. Wiggs is a extremely pivotal part of what we do and us reaching our highest ceiling. And the way that he plays, I think, is easily to integrate back in because, he guards. You can, have him out there defending whoever the primary scorer usually is. I don't know what his minutes will look like and all that. So that might be the biggest adjustment for him. But the rest of it is we have a certain system, a certain approach, and we've done it, in his absence. And I think he understands what it looks like when he's back out there. So to your point, practice time will be helpful and will be important for us to lock in, mentally on the game plan. But, I did it last year and came back, pretty spry those first couple of games. I don't know if, starter, bench, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of, everybody being on the same page. It's helpful. I don't know how much but it's helpful. 90-minute bus ride and get locked in on the road kind of routine. So, and even in between home and road start in game 2 and game 3, it's nice to be back in your beds pretty quickly. So it's helpful, but Draymond talked about on his podcast, it didn't really matter at the end of the day. Whoever we were going to play, we'd be able to adjust because we've been through it, but it is helpful.
Very short-handed tonight, but what does it do for the vibe of this team going to the playoffs? Like, see some shots go in, guys play well, loose, lighthearted, and young players come off the bench late. Like, what does that do for just like the team vibe?
I think these last 2 games, knowing everybody's getting reps and, like you said, there's a feel-good vibe, that helps. You want to grind it out down the stretch against the lineup that they had out there. Like, nobody wanted to be in that kind of situation. But, yeah, for Moses to play 30 minutes, JK played 24, Gary 20, getting their legs underneath them before this week off, going into our practices so that everybody feels, a nice flow and get some game experience so that whatever the expectations or what you're asked to do going into a series, everybody's ready. That definitely helps. And you want to have as least a stressful path to, the start of the playoffs as possible. So we accomplished that.
There's nothing new, but as people remember really what happened in the playoffs. They kind of then forget the long 6-month journey to get there, right? Does this feel like a fresh start? Or I guess what I'm saying is this team's going to be remembered for what happens the next few weeks, not what's happened the last 6 months.
Yeah, that's because of what we've accomplished, and there's an expectation that, we're built to win in the postseason, and we've done it, and that's the reputation that we love to have. But it's not easy getting through an 82-game schedule, and year after year, no matter what seed you are, just getting there, because especially as the defending champs, like, we've gotten everybody's best punch every night. So, yeah, we carried a lot. It was an emotional roller coaster all year. Had some really disappointing losses, had some big wins, obviously our road troubles and all that, but now it's time to just lay it out on the line in another playoff series that we thrive on. So that's who we are. That's, again, the expectations that we have for ourselves, and there's an excitement that comes with that.
this season feel more tumultuous than past?
We'll talk about that at the end of the year.
Steph Curry talking about how there are a lot of expectations on the team right now. There's another level to get to. The road Warriors are going to be the question. They just got their 11th road win of the season, so they are 11-30. Not great for defending champs heading into the postseason. But listen, we've got a week to talk about all of that. So why don't we wrap up this game? Because Dalton, when you have a front row seat for how Klay Thompson started this game, what kind of energy would you say he brought to the game?
I would say he knew exactly how many threes he needed to get to 300. It was 5 at the 7-minute and 20-second mark. He already had 5 3-pointers to get to 300 on the season. Finishes with 301 on the season. So, I mean, really, that first quarter, 17 points. He set the tone for what the Warriors were going to be this entire night. The ball was just floating off of his fingers. And Steve Kerr, Klay Thompson, they both had fun with it, saying that Steve Kerr basically 2 minutes before the game, hey, remember, let's not try to push this record. Let's not try to force anything. But no matter what, Klay Thompson is going to get his shots up. He has earned that right. When you're one of the best shooters of all time, that's what you do. So amazing for Klay Thompson to be one of 3 players ever to reach 300 3-pointers in a single season. Really, really fun to watch tonight in Portland.
Yeah, and as you can see on your screen, Steph Curry and James Harden are the other ones. Steph Curry has done it 4 times. So truly a rare feat in NBA history. You know, when Steve Kerr was talking about, hey, Klay, just kind of let it happen naturally, I wonder, did Klay still have his headphones on there? Could he hear that message? I don't know. Because he, you know, it wasn't like he was chucking early. If he's going to shoot and they're going to go in, let the fireball hands happen, right? Klay had it by the first time out. Amazing.
No, I love that. That's exactly like I think the message that Steve was saying, that Klay was saying. Look, they were good shots. They were all good shots. He was in rhythm. That nothing was forced really at all. He was coming off the screens. He was doing it for himself. So everything that Klay Thompson was doing again was feet under him. That perfect Klay Thompson shooting form that we've been so accustomed to and so lucky to see over the years. So this was just another check mark off of Klay Thompson's remarkable comeback. Obviously, I think 300 is a huge number for him, but for him also to be able to lead the league in total 3-pointers because of him having a full season under his belt, him playing in back-to-backs now. That's what matters to him most. He's such a competitor, and for him to be able to do all of this after what he's been through, there's really just not enough that we could say about it. We can try to find the right adjectives, but again, Klay Thompson, hats off to him because what a historic night for him. What a comeback.
Yeah, Klay Thompson's 3-point shooting night fits into a larger 3-point shooting night for the team. 27 threes in this game, tying their franchise record. Also, Steph, Klay, and Jordan become the trio with the most 3-pointers altogether in a season, which is kind of incredible when you consider Steph's only played 56 games, Klay's played 69 games, Jordan Poole has played all 82. But the Warriors were feeling it tonight. They needed to, frankly, Dalton, when you consider how shorthanded the Blazers were, how much this game meant to the Warriors to try to control a little bit of their destiny, locking down that 6th seed. And when we hear some of the post-game from the players, they don't seem to be too concerned that they're the 6th seed. They said what you do in the regular season and what you do in the postseason are entirely different things, and they have to feel good about their postseason pedigree.
Yeah, I mean, look, if Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Jordan Poole are going to shoot like this, it doesn't matter what seed they are. Like you were saying, 67 combined points, 61% from the field, 58% from 3-point range. So that was a trio of Splash Brothers tonight. And really, the Warriors know that 16 wins is what matters. Their season begins now. They're the 6th seed. They have a shorter road than they're used to as far as just going to Sacramento. They're going to look to take advantage of that with their veterans. So really, they are gearing up, ready to go, kind of hoping to get this momentum. Obviously, you look, the Kings were resting guys. The Blazers were resting a whole lot of guys. They understand that. But to be able to get everybody that they had on the floor tonight, to be able to shoot like that, to be able to kind of have that cohesiveness on the court, I think was really, really big for the Warriors to kind of put a stamp on what has been an up and down regular season and get into this playoff mode that they love more than anything else.
Yeah, there you go. Look, I don't think anyone wants to face a Warriors team that's feeling good heading into the postseason 8-2. We know it's going to be Warriors Kings. That game is on Saturday. And of course, the first round is on NBC Sports Bay Area. Do tune in. We've got you covered. Pre-game, post-game, Dubs Talk podcast. You know it, you love it. Thanks for joining us all season. That game also one of the marquee games for ABC on Saturday. So the league is salivating about this matchup as well. All right, when Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by FitAid, returns, we're going to talk about who's going to be the playoff X factor here. Who are the guys off the bench that need to contribute? Lots of feel-good thoughts for the Warriors going forward. We'll discuss next.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by FitAid Clean Energy and Sports Recovery, the energy drink for athletes. FitAid Energy is naturally sweetened with only 15 calories, no sucralose, no aspartame, and no compromises.
How are you? Thanks for joining us on YouTube. Really nice start to the show, Dalton. Dalton had to run to his position at Moda Center, so thank you for all the work you've done tonight. We've got Guitar Andy saying, hi, Kerith and Dalton. Perfect way to finish off a chilled Easter Sunday. Happy Easter, everybody. If you celebrate, nice to watch a game before midnight in the UK as well. Yeah, this is such a fun time of year to know who's watching globally, who's tuning in for the playoffs. And I just clicked out of this. Good stuff. But yeah, Dalton, how are you feeling? I mean, what kind of vibe are you sensing, from the team, either as you heard that podium sound or as you dipped into the locker room?
I think really good. Honestly, that they just a lot of fun with the Warriors after the game. They had the Masters on. They were relaxed, so enjoying themselves. I think, again, that they're just ready for this regular season to be done. And little things that involve the playoffs. Draymond Green talked about a little bit as far as this is the first time that they're going to get serious practice time in since coming out of the All-Star break, really, in about 2 months, where they can kind of hone in on little skills, hone in on cleaning up everything, have real sit-down film breakdowns of this Kings team. So I think that when you have, obviously, the core that we're going to talk about over and over and over again, who has been there and done that, like they salivate to be in this time of the season. This is what matters to them. This is what wakes them up. So I think that they're really excited. They're happy to be home. And again, very, very good positive vibes in Portland tonight.
Yeah, you got it.
Today.
Listen, no, I got you. No, it's easy.
I'm not
for
used to it still. I kept saying tonight. 12:30, fine by me.
It's easy for us to travel. Our whole newsroom is invested in this. We've got Kings and Warriors shows. Oh my goodness, it's going to be huge. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Dubs Talk, brought to you by FitAid. The Warriors did themselves a favor, stepping on the gas so early in this game against the Blazers, a 55-point first quarter, and that means the reserves could step into the game, Dalton, when the Dubs had a 30-point lead. I mean, in fact, every single Warrior got some time today. We saw the rookie, we saw J. Michael Green, who's had a collection of DMPs lately. Everybody got a little taste with this kind of lead. I'm looking at 24 minutes for Jonathan Kuminga. What did you notice about JK's game?
Oh, he was flying all over the place. I mean, we saw obviously the poster dunk. That's going to be on replay, whether it's social media, whether it's
Why don't we replay it now, in fact? Look.
Let's watch this one. Look at that. I mean, again, look at Lester Keonis right there. The reactions were amazing. Steph was walking up and down the sidelines. Jordan Poole was loving it. So, again, you talk about the good vibes in Portland. This is the exclamation point right there for good vibes in Portland for the Warriors.
Yeah, well, 15, 7, and 6, 7 rebounds. That's going to be something the Warriors definitely need from him in the postseason, as well as his defense. The bench came up huge in this game because they had an opportunity to come up huge. Now, we know that rotation is going to tighten a lot. So for the guys who are going to get those bench minutes, can we talk X Factors a little bit? I think I'm not even going to call JK an X Factor. We know he will be the factor, a factor. But as I'm looking at Dante or GP2, two amazing guys to have, two different styles of play. Who might be the X Factor there?
Two X Factors for sure. Two very, very important players with somewhat similar but different skill sets. To me, it has to be GP2 because I go back and think about De'Aaron Fox. We talk about one of the quickest guys with the ball, in his hands. Think about almost kind of Ja Morant-esque. And this is what the Warriors brought GP2 back for, is for the playoffs, to be that on-ball defender. And Dante DiVincenzo is a very good defender, but GP2 is maybe a one-on-one as far as that on-ball defense and being able to slow these guys that are incredibly fast with the ball in their hands. So thinking about that De'Aaron Fox, Gary Payton the second matchup once GP2's in the game, that's something that I can't wait to watch. I think that's something that the fans should be very invested in. So both are going to have very, very important roles, as you said, but GP2 for that defense, for that on-ball defense, hounding the opposition. And De'Aaron Fox, that's the guy that I go back to over and over and over again, thinking about GP2. So that's why he's my top X factor between those two guys.
Yeah, I actually, Dante's no slouch on defense either, but I actually go to GP2 for this one because you're not going to see a point total of 157 points in the postseason. There is a defense truly locks down and gets serious. I think that's where GP2 maybe has the edge. You know what? I was actually looking at their three-point shooting too, because both of these guys can space the floor. Dante has been shooting 40% from three this season. He's got a larger body of work, of course. GP2, when he shoots, 50%. Interesting. That's only in 21 games, and he doesn't take as many as Dante. But you're talking about two guys who will be X factors for a team. The Warriors, great. Lucky, that is, that they have both of these guys. All right, Andrew Wiggins will be coming back sometime. How big of a favor did the Warriors do for themselves by locking down the 6th seed, which means they don't have to be in the play-in starting Tuesday?
Huge. I think that's something that maybe everyone wasn't talking about enough as far as that 6th seed. It really helps Andrew Wiggins as much as anybody. Look, there are guys on this team that could use a rest, whether it's Kevon Looney playing all 82, Jordan Poole playing all 82. We've seen Draymond Green put his body in the line, but for Andrew Wiggins to get that extra time back, I mean, he's got some 3-on-3 work yesterday, some 5-on-5 work, but he gets more and more of that scrimmage work under his legs. Huge for Andrew Wiggins, huge for the Warriors. So this had to be something that the Warriors were talking about amongst themselves, is, hey, we get this win, any extra day is going to be so big for Andrew Wiggins. So that, to me, was really the biggest prize of all in winning this game, is giving Andrew Wiggins that extra time, that extra rest, those extra reps to be ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, we're talking about 7 weeks since Andrew Wiggins has played in an NBA game, and in order to put him in the best situation to succeed, you need to give him this ramp up, because the postseason is the most difficult time of the season, of course. And I really liked what we heard from Steph, saying Wiggins is a pivotal part of what we do. The whole team glad to have a smile back in the locker room. All right, coming up on Dubstock Live, brought to you by Fit Aid. We know that the Kings and Warriors are playing. Let's look at some of these other matchups, and again, revisit that idea. How much of a home court advantage is Sacramento going to have here? I-80 battle. We'll discuss when we come back.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by Fit Aid Clean Energy and Sports Recovery, the energy drink for athletes. Fit Aid Energy is naturally sweetened with only 15 calories, no sucralose, no aspartame, and no compromises.
Hey, I know we're back on YouTube, but Flo, I have a question for you. Do we have like a matchup lineup? Okay, great. No, just I don't mind seeing that live if that's okay. If that's okay with Dalton, just would you put that up on the screen as soon as we come back, so we make sure we have enough time to get to that? Cool. Yeah, right away if that's okay. Yep. All right, cool. Lots of people saying a lot of traffic on Highway 80 soon. Laugh out loud. I don't know if I'm going to be laughing. When it takes 3 hours.
I'm not going to be laughing
there.
after driving more than 3 hours to get to the last game. So you guys can laugh as much as you want. I'm looking for a hotel in walking distance.
Yes, I like that. I mean, ordinarily 90 minutes, depending on what speed limit you drive on I-80.
Yeah.
But yeah. Ooh, we've got somebody saying Sacktown represent. Listen, we have Sacramento Kings fans in this office. Like, the entire office is so excited for this matchup. I think this, like, NorCal is excited for this matchup. This is a big deal for the state of California and this region in particular, that both of these teams are in the postseason at the same time. That's never happened, and that they're playing each other. This is like a head exploding moment. I'm so thrilled.
It's awesome. I mean, Klay Thompson was saying, like, he didn't know. I was asking him just about the travel action. He's like, oh, is that who we're playing? I'm like, yeah, you're playing the Kings.
Buddy.
Klay Thompson moment, of course. But he was just saying, like, wow, that is so cool for the NBA, for the fans, for us. Like, he's super excited about it. I think he's someone, obviously, we know about his father. He knows NBA history very, very well.
Yeah.
He knows what this means for both franchises, for the NBA. So the NBA is going all in on this. We are, obviously. So NorCal basketball, man, it's being represented right now.
Yeah. Big deal. All right, welcome back to Dubstech Live, brought to you by FitAid. So let's take a look at how things are stacking up right now. Kings and Warriors, that game is on Saturday. The Clippers won tonight. They faced the Suns, who rested everybody, and that earned them the 5 seed. So now they're going to face Kevin Durant and the Suns. That's going to be a tough matchup. The Nuggets waiting to learn who they're going to play. The Grizzlies waiting to learn who they're going to play. And you can see who made it into the play-in tournament. Again, that is starting on Tuesday. I really, really like this first round matchup for the Warriors. I think the Warriors have to have every kind of confidence that who they are in the postseason, no matter what their road record is probably going to carry them through in this series.
Oh, 1,000% yes. I mean, it's their defense has to lock back in, right? Because that's what we've seen on the road. The issue has been really defense more than anything else. So that's why I think that getting that 6 seed, getting that extra time, having time to tinker with film, with practice, they're going to get actual practice reps for the first time in nearly 2 months. That is huge for them. So I think that they very much are really confident right now that they know what they need to work on. They also know that those 11 wins on the road don't matter anymore. Mm-hmm. They are focused on 16 wins right now. This is a season that the Warriors wake up for every single season, is the postseason, right? So they're geared up, they're ready to roll, and they know what they need to work on. And I'm excited to see what they're going to be working on most, and kind of listen to those practice interviews, be around practice too. So I'm really excited to see what's going to go forward. And even like that, those first few minutes of game one could tell us a lot.
Mm-hmm. No, that game is always the feeling out game, but it's interesting because the Warriors have so many connections to the Kings. Mike Brown, the most obvious one, Harrison Barnes, who's won a championship with the Warriors, also 2 members of Mike Brown's coaching staff were Warriors people. So there's just a lot of familiarity here. And I wonder if the chess match is going to get even deeper as far as trying to predict what the other guy is going to do. But here we are, Dalton, the really fun time of the season. Hey, before we go, and this is just the end of the regular season, I want to take a moment to thank our producers, Flo and Dan. Having producers for this show was a new thing. They helped us get organized. Sometimes we branch off everywhere. They helped us with some of the creativity of the show. Really important to say thank you to the people behind the scenes. That's Flo and Dan, who's in my ear, letting me know we're running out of time. But that's for you, buddy. You got it, Flo. And Dalton, thank you so much for running around at the Moda Center. Always great to hear from you, too. The conversation continues on the podcast. You're welcome. You deserve them, Flo. Dalton, you deserve kind words, too. This is your first full season covering the Dubs, and you crush it this year. Can't wait to see what you bring to the postseason. I know you already have one of those under your belt. All right, Otis is saying, yeah, shout out to the producers. Shannon saying, shout out to the producers. And yeah, we've got Jonathan saying, keep Fox from shooting Jays, limit his cuts and layups. And absolutely, Jonathan, Fox is going to be all over the game plan, because slowing him down will be an important factor if the Warriors want to get these wins.
Oh, it'll be huge. I mean, one of the quickest, fastest, best athletes in the NBA, incredibly explosive. And that's where guys like GP2, Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins a little bit. I'm sure that they're going to throw different people at him for sure, and use maybe the length of a Kuminga or an Andrew Wiggins, the speed of a GP2, the strength and the toughness of a Draymond, right? So I don't think it's going to be one single set of this is who guards who by any means. They're going to be throwing some curveballs. They're going to try to mix it up multiple times against this Kings. It'll be really interesting to see Kevon Looney on Domantas Sabonis, the way that he passes out of there too, So there's just so many fun matchups to watch with both of these teams at full strength.
Yeah, Sabonis, the leading rebounder in the NBA. I think Looney will look at that stat and say, let me see what I can do here. Yeah. Fox, the most clutch person in the NBA, the Kings' leading scorer. You also have Kevin Huerter, who's come on this season as one of the best three-point shooters for the Kings. Those were three guys that the Warriors didn't see the last time they played Sacramento just a couple days ago. So we're looking at a new matchup. Haven't seen this one for a while. I'm salivating. I'm excited, and I'm really glad that we get to wait until Saturday to see it. How about you?
Oh, very excited. Saturday, it's like I wanted to get here quickly, but also I can use, maybe another sleep or two also for sure. So we got to rest up. The fans need to rest up because this is going to be an exciting series no matter what. Very, very excited for this. I mean, how can't you be truly? NorCal basketball at its best right now.
Yep. Thank you, Dalton. Fans of basketball getting a treat. Thanks to everybody who joined us in the YouTube, and we will talk to you again soon. Night.